April 1st, 1991. An eventful day today, considering it was April's Fool's Day. Sergeant Major had a piece of my ass with Kuntz alongside for not having t-shirts on. We weren't the only ones, so it was heard also by our newly appointed Company Gunnery Sergeant, Staff Sergeant Clenny. His speech consisted of things like recon community, which he has only been a part of for less than a year. So we are being punished for this by cleaning the walls in the barracks. We must obey our higher-ups, as was said, no matter what they say. This past weekend was relaxing. It was spent at Camp 3 playing volleyball and swimming. A total stress-free environment for once. Oh, today, Broadhurst was acting weird all day. Finally, he told us someone had beat off and came on his girlfriend's photos. Be it a joke or whatever. Why was this done? Revenge for what? A total lack of concern for personal things, which is fucked. And good news prevails for once. Our embark squad will not be going back to Kuwait City with a platoon on Wednesday. What possesses one to stay in the Marine Corps for life? I don't understand. It's probably a need to be abused, a place where common sense doesn't work in the minds of higher-ups. You know, there's a lot to unpack on this entry. You know, the first one, the first point is, you know, here we are and combat's over and just trying to, relax and unwind and decompress. And the Marine Corps, in its infinite wisdom, and the leaders in our platoon continually found ways to try to destroy morale. And, not having our t-shirts on, it's sunny out, just trying to relax. And all of a sudden now the Sergeant Major and the Company Gunnery Sergeant are, talking to the troops and the platoon and telling us that we have to obey the rules and regulations and leadership. And I understand that and understand the need for discipline within the military. But at some point, as a leader, I learned that you have to be able to take care of the troops and be able to look at their well-being. And there's a time and place for everything. And it seemed like, in Desert Storm, that was never really considered. And it was another part of my decision to get out, just another nail in the coffin. The other thing that I want to talk about was the fact that Broadhead had his pictures of his girlfriend and that somebody would actually desecrate those photos, and for whatever reason they chose to do it. But that was something that really kind of eroded the morale of the platoon and the company when the news of that happened. And no one ever admitted to it, or we never found out who was responsible for it, but it really it was it left a stain on the, literally, figuratively, on the morale of the platoon. To do something like that, really, for me, is, I still can't understand how someone would do that or why someone would do that. But it all went back to, what I wrote at the end. Why would somebody stay in the Marine Corps for life? And with the lack of, just common sense things that, anybody, any leader would question or would try to figure out why. And I believe that my time in Desert Storm and my time in the Marine Corps were very impactful for me, not only in my life, but for the rest of my military career. It really enabled me to be a better leader when I was in the Navy and when I was an officer. Having those experiences as an enlisted person, having to go through the things that I went through, scrubbing walls for not wearing your t-shirt, the idiocy of some of the things that happened, not only in Desert Storm, but my time in the Marine Corps, they really helped me significantly when I was a lieutenant. And I can tell a quick story. I was a lieutenant in the Navy. I was an intelligence officer, and I was deployed on the USS John F aircraft carrier. And it was right after 9/11, and we were prosecuting targets for OEF, and we were working with Task Force Dagger and Task Force Stiletto, trying to eliminate Osama bin Laden in the Tora Bora Mountains. And as the targeting officer, I was responsible for coordinating targeting between the task force and the Central Command and the aircraft carrier. So I would work with the pilots on looking at what type of munitions we would put on the planes for different missions, and it was very stressful and very high tempo. I was working on 16-hour days, and I remember the CAG AI came into the targeting cell, and he said, "You need to go talk to the CAG," and it was Admiral Gortney, Shortney Gortney at the time, a little short guy and really high strung, and he's like, "You got to go talk to CAG. He's got to. He wants to understand some of the targeting." And I said, "Oh, Roger that, sir." And I was getting ready to go see the CAG, and I had a sailor come up to me, and he said, "Hey, sir, can I talk to you for a sec?" And I looked at him and I said, "Is it important? Because I'm busy right now." And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Is it important for you or important in general?" And he said, "It's important." And I said, "Okay." So I put down all the targeting stuff, and I turned my seat and I said, "Okay, what is it?" And I took about 5 or 7 minutes just to listen to what he had to say. And it wasn't important. It wasn't important for him. It wasn't important overall. But I took the time to listen. And I told him that when I got back from meeting with the CAG, that I would sit and talk to him about it and we'd figure out a solution. Anyway, I run into the CAG's his room on the ship, and he was obviously agitated that I was late, and kind of got my ass chewed. Gave him all the stuff they needed, and left the meeting. And went back to the targeting cell and sat down and said, "Okay, listen, I just met with CAG, and this is what's going on. Appreciate you bringing your concerns about this to me. However, in the future, I don't believe there's a threshold of importance." But that experience for me was important because I understood that for him it was important. And what happened after that was that he went to all of the enlisted folks and told them that I sat down with him, took time, got my ass chewed by CAG, but I had the respect of everybody in the targeting cell. And that meant a lot to me, more than awards or medals and things of that nature. And I used those experiences in the military and applied them to my own business and to being a father. And I believe one of the most important things that I do as a father, and I hope that other fathers this will resonate with. I have my kind of like motto is accomplish the mission and take care of the troops. And for me, when I got married and I became a father, my primary mission, and my mission is still to be the best father I can be. And in doing so, to raise my children in a manner which they will be successful in their lives. And taking care of the troops, making sure that they learn these valuable lessons that I learned in my life, and they can apply them in their lives, just as I hope my audience can learn these valuable lessons that I learned and apply them in their own lives. Next episode is going to be a challenging one, a difficult one for me personally. Can't wait to share it with you. And I know that I don't try to market myself or this podcast, but I really would help. It would help to grow the audience if you would share it with your friends and your family. Send me comments. I enjoy answering and responding to the comments and questions. And give it a like here and there. I'm up to over 10,000 followers and subscribers, so I hope to keep it growing. And I really need your support, and I really look forward to sharing more experiences and transitioning from the war journal to the manuscript. It's going to be great. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I can't wait to share the next journal entry with you.